Tonight, we gather to honor the exceptional individuals who have left an indelible mark on the University of Maryland. It is our privilege to express our heartfelt gratitude to these remarkable honorees. Their fearless determination, unwavering commitment, and groundbreaking contributions have not only shaped our beloved university, but have also reverberated throughout society. Tonight, we pay tribute to the visionaries and trailblazers who have dedicated themselves to making the world a better place. Their remarkable journey and extraordinary accomplishments serve as a beacon of inspiration, lighting the path for the next generation of Terps. Tonight, we celebrate these torchbearers who remind us all to dream big, dig deep, and address the grand challenges of our time. Their dedication to excellence sets the standard for all Terps to follow, inspiring those who will come after them. We raise our glasses and cheer for their indomitable spirit, relentless pursuit of knowledge, and their unwavering commitment to the University of Maryland. So, join us tonight as we come together in unity and celebration. Let us commemorate the profound impact of our honorees and look to the future with hope and aspiration. Together, we toast to their remarkable accomplishments. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to A Celebration of Terps, featuring the Maryland Awards. Let the celebration begin.
Please welcome to the stage Amy Eichhorst, Associate Vice President of Alumni and Donor Relations and Executive Director of the Alumni Association.
Good evening and welcome home, Terps. I'm excited to be with you tonight for our annual Celebration of Terps featuring the Maryland Awards. Tonight, we recognize 7 outstanding alumni and the significant contributions they've made in their field and the impact they've made to their alma mater. It's an honor to host you, your families, your friends tonight here at the University of Maryland Samuel Riggs IV Alumni Center. This is your home, and it has been such a privilege for me to serve such a dynamic and forward-thinking alumni community. One of the reasons I love what I do every day, and I really do love what I do every day, is that I have the opportunity to work with and meet alumni across the country. I would like to recognize some of those alumni here with us tonight. I'd first like to thank our members of our Alumni Association Board of Governors, raise your hands, led by Lori DeArmond, our president. I am grateful for your commitment to Maryland and to the advancement of the Alumni Association. Thank you also to our Board of Governors, Awards and Recognitions Committee. A special thank you to the Honorable Carlos Acosta. Carlos, raise your hand. He was the committee chair, and he helped select our amazing honorees tonight. I'd also like to acknowledge our new Vice President of University Relations, Jim Harris. Congratulations, Jim. Just named a few days ago, so you'll hear from him at the close of the ceremony. In a few short moments, I'd like to recognize, and I'll begin to recognize our honorees. But first, I would like to introduce my co-host for the evening and the president of your distinguished university, Dr. Daryl J. Pines.
That's not my theme music. What happened? Amy, you said you had my theme music. Come on now. How about a round of applause for Amy Eichhorst, Head of Alumni Relations. Thank you, Amy, for all that you do. Good evening, everyone, and it's just a pleasure and honor for me to be here at this celebration. I love any event that gives me the opportunity to be surrounded by our alums who are just dynamic, you are distinguished, you are accomplished, and you are a community that never fails to impress and inspire me and everyone associated with this institution, the University of Maryland. Alums are the bridge between a university's past and its future. Through your ongoing generosity, friendship, and triumphs, we are able to keep living up to our ideals while demonstrating the power of higher education and providing opportunities for the next generation of the Terrapin family. I often speak of our university's need to keep driving toward achieving excellence. And we are beginning to see how hard work and investments made in the years past are paying off, be it our national rankings or new heights reached in research funding. By the way, let me just take a little bit of moment of privilege. Could all the deans and, of course, Provost Rice please stand up so that we can recognize their leadership? No matter what challenges may face us in the years ahead, what I call the grand challenges of our time, nights such as this serve as a reminder of the hope and optimism that our fellow Terps can always provide. You truly are all fearless, and I have no doubt that together we can continue to move fearlessly forward. So thank you for all that you do and have done and will continue to do. Enjoy the night.
Thank you, President Pines, for joining us tonight as we celebrate some truly special alumni. I'd like to start by handing out the first award, which is the Outstanding Young Alumnus Award. This award honors a young alum with tremendous professional and personal accomplishments. Viraj Shah, co-founder and CEO of Vitalize Care, is dedicated to using technology to improve healthcare and mental health care, especially for the medical professionals who give so much of themselves to their patients.
Viraj Shah developed his passion for improving healthcare as an undergraduate at Maryland. This started through research at Johns Hopkins Hospital, where he built software improving quality control processes for oncologists. As a policy intern at the Office of the U.S. Surgeon General, he contributed to research and policy supporting the nation's clinical workforce during the COVID-19 pandemic. He also co-founded Chat Health, a chatbot system to improve access to healthcare, and Public Health Beyond Borders, a nonprofit focused on mitigating global health disparities through education and advocacy. In 2021, he and fellow alum Sanket and Havarapu co-founded Vitalize Care, a digital platform that provides mental health support to healthcare professionals. While he received a Gates Cambridge scholarship to seek a PhD in public health at the University of Cambridge, he left the program early to commit to Vitalize Care as CEO. Since then, the company has completed the Y Combinator Accelerator program, raised millions from venture capital funds and angel investors, including multiple UMD alums, and secured multiple hospital system customers. Please join us in congratulating Viraj Shah, recipient of the 2023 Outstanding Young Alumnus Award.
Please join me in welcoming to this stage our outstanding young alumnus, Viraj Shah.
Good evening, everyone. It's really good to be here today. For me, anytime I get to come home back to Maryland and back to campus, it really feels like a homecoming to me. And on the ride here, I was kind of thinking about what I could say to really encapsulate this and this opportunity and this recognition. And it made me actually think about back to the first time when I was a senior in high school, thinking about whether I wanted to choose to come to the University of Maryland or not. And I did not want to say this in front of everyone, but I was actually hesitant at first to attend the University of Maryland, but actually it was my mom, who is an alum herself, that was the one who really pushed me to attend to Maryland. And like most of the things in my life, my mom ends up being correct. So honestly, I can say without a doubt, attending University of Maryland has been the best decision I could have ever made, both in friends, family, and what I've been able to do in my career so far. When I actually came to the University of Maryland, I came as a biomedical engineering student. I then, in the first year in college, changed my major 4 additional times. And I ended up getting to this combination of a degree program within CMNS and a degree program with School of Public Health, but as an individualized studies major. And I got to build my own major called Health Policy and Technology. And I just want to say how cool that is, that a university lets its student build its own degree. I think it was the coolest thing. And I really found my home in the IVSP program here and in the School of Public Health, who continue to support me to this day. And while I was a student here, I was actually able to achieve the dream that I had for the longest time, which was to get into an MD PhD program. I actually went and matriculated to that after I graduated, but then I decided to trade that in to move to San Francisco and share a really small bedroom with one of my co-founders, wake up every day, look at each other first thing in the morning. It's a really, really special thing. But if I had to take anything away from that, it's actually the things that I've learned day in and day out at Maryland. From the Do-Good Institute, from the Smith School and the Digman Center of Entrepreneurship and the Integrated Life Sciences program here, I learned to A, take risks, B, make decisions with conviction, and C, always have values that put others, society, and anything you're really passionate about first. And I think it showed me that in a lot of ways there are multiple definitions for success. Whereas earlier I thought that success was in academic publications or getting into professional schools, which in some ways can happen in a short period of time. I think I really quickly learned that now, as CEO of this company, Vitalize Care, success doesn't happen overnight. And you fail so many times, and believe me, I've done that day in, day out this entire year. But it comes in other definitions, and it can come in your impact, or it can come in the lives that you touch. So I think that has been an incredible learning, and I think it all starts with the time that I've been able to spend here at Maryland. I just wanted to end by giving a few thank yous out. This is a really special day for me because actually I've kind of been able to bring my entire family here. To start with my grandma and grandpa, I think they almost as good as it can get exemplify the American dream. I think they are my role models that I've looked up to my entire life. My mom and dad are here, and I can say the exact same things about them. And also my girlfriend, Ashwarya, who I met at the University of Maryland, who is also an alum, is here to support me. And just being able to see so many familiar faces. But lastly, just wanted to be able to thank the Alumni Association. I know I'm rambling, and I'm probably way over time. But I think this is, honestly, for me, an incredible opportunity for now the rest of my professional career to be part of the Alumni Association and to continue giving back, because I am day in, day out indebted to the university, the people who work here, and what they've given to me so that I can kind of live my dream every single day. So I really thank you all for this opportunity and look forward to continue giving back as an alumni. Thank you.
As the country's first do-good campus, we're committed to instilling in our students the importance of making a positive impact on their communities and around the world. With our Do-Good Award, we celebrate the achievements of an alum who is making a difference in the lives of others. This year, the recipient of the Do-Good Award is Khalil Kettering. Yes, please. As Executive Director of the Maryland, Washington, D.C. chapter of the Nature Conservancy, Khalil is an advocate for environmental conservation across the region.
Khalil Kettering embodies the do-good spirit through his service on environmentalism. As a graduate student at Maryland, he was heavily involved with the Do-Good Institute, competing with Team Ride for Eco and the Do-Good Challenge, serving as a philanthropy fellow, and participating in the Institute's first study abroad program. In his current role at the Nature Conservancy, he provides overall management and leadership for conservation work across the Maryland, D.C. area. He previously served as the Conservancy's Bezos Earth Fund Program Director, managing projects associated with the fund's $100 million gift to mitigate climate change. He also led the Conservancy's efforts, pioneering a stormwater retention credit market in D.C. to improve water quality in local rivers and the Chesapeake Bay. And he worked in Miami for the National Parks Conservation Association, advocating for the protection and restoration of Everglades and Biscayne National Parks. He gives back to his alma mater as a member of the Do Good Council, a Do Good Challenge judge, and a mentor to students. Please join us in congratulating Khalil Kettering, recipient of the 2023 Do Good Award.
And I'm pleased to introduce and welcome to the stage Khalil Kettering to accept his award.
Raj, you stole my line. Like most things in my life, my mom is right. I'll just leave that there. I'm incredibly honored to be up here in front of all of you. And I accept this award not for myself, but I'm representing so many people that have held me up. I'm standing on the shoulders of titans of doing good that have come before me, that are here with me, and that will come after me. And so I'm honored that I have the next 90 minutes to tell you about what doing good means for me. I want to give a huge thanks to my family in that corner there, my parents, my partner, my brothers that are from another family, Dr. Grimm, Sarah Gallagher, Dean Orr, so critical components of my learning in life. And when you think about do good, it's two very simple words, but they're very profound words. To do, I looked it up. The synonyms to do, to act, to perform. And good, something desired, the qualities of something that you want. To benefit, something, kindness. And what I learned from my time at this institution, which has changed my life, had an indelible impact on my life, is when you put those two words together, it creates a whole new powerful meaning with do good. It's not just the definition of those words, but it's a paradigm to do good. It's a way to live your life. It's service. We hear about so many things going on in the world and the terrible destruction and loss of life, and do good is about our humanity and the connection that we have with each other, because that connection with people is the currency to accomplish things in life and to do good. I'm here because others have done good for me, to help me to get this position. I'm standing up here on the stage with people I've mentioned. I'm standing up here on stage of people that survived the Middle Passage, that survived the lash of the whip, that persevered, that survived trips, that farmed the land, that had the courage to stand up. And because of them, I'm here in front of you. And so I'm accepting the award on behalf of all these people that have come before me. And I have a responsibility to do good. We all have a responsibility to do good. I'm going to have a new boss in a couple weeks. I'm going to have a son for the first time. I have to do good to honor him and the world we leave for him. And what I learned from this institution is that part of our responsibility is every day we get to wake up and we get to think, what is the good that I'm going to do in the world? And then we run like hell towards that answer. And we make a difference and we do good. So I want to leave you with the words of my late great cousin, Charles Kettering, where he said, resolve yourself to make a better future, because that's where you're going to spend the rest of your life. Thank you so much.
Wow. Next, I am thrilled to present the Spirit of Maryland Award. This award honors a Terp whose enthusiasm for the University of Maryland infuses every aspect of their life. This year, our Spirit of Maryland Award winner is Alyssa Krumloff. Alyssa has been a tremendous advocate for the University of Maryland, including during her tenure as president of the School of Public Health Alumni Network, which meant she was also a member of our Board of Governors, and as the alumni commencement speaker for the school.
Alyssa T. Krumloff is a scientist, educator, mentor, and advocate passionate about inspiring individuals to answer the next generation's most pressing public health questions. For over a decade, she worked as an investigator at the National Institutes of Health Clinical Center, studying health behavior in diverse and vulnerable populations while teaching over 500 students as an adjunct faculty member at the University of Maryland School of Public Health. She later worked as a scientific review officer at the NIH Center for Scientific Review before taking her current role. She has stayed connected to her alma mater by having served as the president of the School of Public Health Alumni Network and as the school's alumni commencement speaker. She was recently honored with the School of Public Health's Distinguished Terrapin Award. Please join us in congratulating Alyssa T. Krumloff, recipient of the 2023 Spirit of Maryland Award.
Alyssa, all decked out and spirited in gold, please join me on the stage for the presentation of your award.
I planned to match the tablecloth, the drapery. Thank you. Does not even begin to scratch the surface of how I'm feeling right now. Congratulations to my fellow awardees and to the organizers for putting on yet another spectacular event. Attending the University of Maryland taught me a lot of little things, like how to drive on the Beltway, and big things, like how to lead and advocate and serve every community I find myself in. Through service on the Board of Governors and the School of Public Health Alumni Network, and teaching over 500 students right here on this campus, whose resilience has made me a better person, Maryland shaped my personal and professional values. To me, the spirit of Maryland is family. So 4 years ago, I got to attend this event, but I couldn't stay until the end. I had to leave early. Let me tell you why. So I was rushing home to clean my apartment because my parents were coming to visit the next morning, but this was no ordinary visit. They were meeting the guy I was dating for the first time. And I decided that nothing could help them bond better by putting them all together in an escape room bright and early the next morning. It's one of my most brilliant ideas yet. And my plan worked. They escaped the room, everyone got along swimmingly, and I ended up marrying the guy. I'm deeply honored to be here with my parents, my husband, and my friends turned family. I love you. So, speaking of family, from certain angles you can tell that I'm currently growing the world's tiniest terp, due in March. And I am immensely grateful that because she is being born into this family and this family, she will move mountains. Someday, I'll show her pictures of tonight, and I'll remind her that there's no such thing as being overdressed or overeducated. Tonight, I feel a deep appreciation for my University of Maryland family in this room and hopeful anticipation for what's to come for our Terp family and for my own growing family. I will remember this night and this feeling for the rest of my life. Thank you very much.
With the Tizer Gottswold Service Award, we acknowledge an alum who has tirelessly served the University of Maryland. So tonight, we give the Tizer Gottwald Service Award to Maurice Nick. Maurice has given so much of himself to this university. He mentors students, leads workshops on financial literacy, and was one of the lead volunteers for our inaugural Black Alumni Weekend. He's also served as chair of the Robert H. Smith School of Business's Young Alumni Council.
Maurice Nick's love for the red, black, and gold reigns true through his volunteerism at the University of Maryland. He mentors students, leads workshops geared to improving their financial understanding, and regularly participates in the Business Fellows Etiquette Dinners. He was one of the lead volunteers behind the university's first Black Alumni Weekend, and he has served as chair of the Robert H. Smith School of Business's Young Alumni Council. He earned an MBA and a master's degree in supply chain management. In his role at Under Armour, he drives continuous improvement in service level, working capital, quality, delivery, cost, and growth. His business portfolio is responsible for $1.3 billion in sales, and the team he manages spans 3 countries. Please join us in congratulating Maurice Nick, recipient of the 2023 Tizer Gottwald Service Award.
Please join me in welcoming Maurice Nick to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. My mother jokingly asked if I was going to get up here and also say that my mom's always right. So I will say my mother is always right. But seriously, thank you all so much. First, I would like to say thank you to Amy and Natalie and all of the Alumni Association who had a hand in selecting me for this award. Thank you to the staff and faculty that nominated me. The honor truly humbles me. Although I'm standing on the stage alone, there is an army behind me that continues to propel and support all of my efforts. I am blessed that the individuals who have invested in me most join me here tonight. My parents taught me everything I know about service, and serving others is the ultimate way of imitating and perpetuating Jesus' love. Throughout my life, my sister has been a sounding board for any and everything I set out to do. And to my wife, thank you for constantly reaffirming that my sacrifices are not in vain and giving me more love and support than I could ask for. And it is through our children that I have found my new why. We all have a story, and though I don't quite recall when I decided to be a people servant, I do know the exact moment I internally pledged my commitment to this campus. It was when I realized that dreams do happen, and at Maryland, if you work for it, then your desires are possible. Standing here now with 3 degrees from the Robert H. Smith School of Business is nothing short of a miracle, because originally I was not accepted. I'm from Prince George's County, and I did not attend one of the feeder schools that the college was then partnered with. My 12th grade business teacher golfed with the business teachers of those schools, and one Saturday they pushed back tea time, and he inquired why, and they told him they had a meeting, and he said, well, he would tag along. At that meeting, he learned about the program that Smith offered for students from Prince George's County. He told me that I didn't qualify, but he gave me the number anyway. And if anybody knows anything about me, that was a bold decision he made. So I used to call that number every day, so much so that the students at the desk knew who I was calling for as soon as they heard my voice and transferred me before even asking. I don't think that blocking was a thing back then. I don't think blocking was a thing back then like it is now, so I got to speak to her literally every time I called. So one day during the summer, she told me to come to the school for an in-person meeting. As I'm standing in the undergraduate office waiting, there was a woman there who strikes up a conversation with me, and I just assumed that she was a parent. We talked about current events, what her son studied in college, what I wanted to study, and my plans for life. A beautiful conversation. She then leaves, and I'm there waiting for April Hamilton to come out and get me. And she says, you know, there's been a change of plans. Actually, the dean would like to talk to you. And I just knew it was over. I just thought I was going to get my final reprimand, and told for the 100th time that I would have to wait and apply to my desired program my sophomore year. But to my surprise, the dean was the parent that I had just been talking to in the lobby. She stood, shook my hand, and offered me admission to the school. Now I would get my dream and starting in business as a freshman. I was elated. She told me that my perseverance is what got her attention, so they decided to look at my application again. That was the day I decided that I was going to serve Maryland and give the students, faculty, and staff all that I have. Long story short, in my time, I did all I could do to transform the College of Business and campus alike. And in my true form, I went overboard. I had 5 study abroad experiences. I started a nonprofit with my fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha. I was hired as a student employee and given an office to advise students in the same suite where I first met the dean. I also removed the feeder schools from the program, revamping and relaunching it with my 12th grade business teacher in attendance, the first and only time I saw him cry. Being a student at Maryland changed my life, and with my blessings, I'm determined to continue to reach out and help anyone I can. So it should come as no surprise that throughout my professional career, Maryland's been the first place I turn when I look to hire, help, and just be involved. The dean's slogan was, "Tomorrow belongs to those that show up today," and I would never stop showing up for Maryland. Thank you all, and congratulations to all the honorees.
Wow, it's just incredible to hear from each of our honorees. Thank you so much for all of your words. The last award I'm going to present is the Elaine Johnson Coates Award. Since 2019, the Alumni Association has given out this award. Ms. Johnson Coates, who is here with us tonight, was the first African American woman to graduate from the University of Maryland in 1959. Nice to see you. There she is. The Elaine Johnson Coates Award honors an alum who has made a significant contribution towards diversity and inclusion. This year, the recipient of the Elaine Johnson Coates Award is Morton Ender. Morton is a professor of sociology at the United States Military Academy at West Point, who has spent much of his 25-year career studying diversity, equity, and inclusion in the military. He was instrumental in establishing the Academy's first diversity committee and was also critical to creating the Academy's Diversity and Inclusion Studies minor.
Morton Ender has devoted a major part of his 25-year career at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point to the study and education of diversity, equity, and inclusion in the military. He spearheaded the establishment of the Academy's first diversity committee, championing teaching, research, service, faculty, and cadet development in and around diversity, inclusion, and equity issues. He was also a key stakeholder in establishing the Academy's Diversity and Inclusion Studies minor. With it, he and his co-chairs have institutionalized the study of diversity, equity, and inclusion for cadets, faculty, and staff in the curriculum. Among his many diversity-related publications are 14 peer-reviewed scholarly articles, 12 book chapters, and 2 books, including Inclusion in the American Military, A Force for Diversity. Please join us in congratulating Morton Ender, recipient of the 2023 Elaine Johnson Coates Award.
So I'm honored to welcome Morton Ender to the stage to accept this year's award.
Wow, that was pretty cool. Never give a college professor a microphone. You may never get it back. I heard a few deans laugh. So first, let me get my glasses here. First, a special thank you to everyone in the University of Maryland Alumni Association system. Not only for this award, but for all your hard work for us going back 30 years with my wife Karina and I. We approached you all about 30 years ago to establish the University of Maryland Munich Alumni Endowed Scholarship Award. And happy to say we now have a sculpture here on campus and a scholarship fund in perpetuity for all overseas military family members. So that's pretty exciting. Next, though, an apology to Ms. Elaine Johnson Coates and the Coates family for what you had to endure to successfully become the first African American graduate of the University of Maryland in 1959. 1959. We have a similar award at West Point. It's called the Henry O. Flipper Award. Flipper was the first African American graduate in 1877 during Reconstruction. During his entire 4 years, if you all, those of you that have been to college can imagine this, his entire 4 years he was silenced by his classmates and faculty during his entire time at West Point. The first African American woman did not graduate until 1980. No American should experience such indignities. So I empathize with there and now Mrs. Johnson Coates' experience. So I do not carry lightly receiving the Elaine Johnson Coates Award. I'm honored to receive this award. The award is extra special because I know Ms. Johnson Coates became a teacher and then later a social worker, careers that are close to my heart because a lot of my students become social workers either in the Army or outside. I have to shout out to my family seated over there at table 3. There are 3 veterans at my table, including my mom, who's a retired Sergeant Major. So 3 veterans over there. In a world of 3 million followers on social media and competitions for most likes, my wife Karina, I only need your 1 like and I'm totally fulfilled. So I want to accept this award on behalf of a late childhood friend of mine known as Red. I knew him as Red. Red lived on my street in Compton, California. Yes, that Compton. When I was in middle school and he was in high school. Red later attended Pepperdine College where he played basketball. Red was always nice to me and my family, even when he dunked, which he often did, and tore down my basketball court over the garage door, but he always helped me and my dad put it back up. He's what a sociologist would call a positive role model for me. He's the first person, this is an African American man, he's the first person that I knew who attended college. Red's name is Dennis Johnson. He was later known as DJ. He later played with Larry Bird and the Boston Celtics in the 1980s. You guys can Google him if you don't know who he is. But I just want to do a shout out to my old childhood friend who had a big influence on me. Thank you again for this award. Go Terps, go Army.
Please welcome back to the stage President Darrell Pines.
Well, congratulations to all of those who have just been honored in front of us. Your passion and dedication are transformative for the University of Maryland and the wider world. It really makes me proud to know that our university's values of excellence and service can be found at the root of so many profound accomplishments. We aim to inspire everyone to seek a better future, and I know that with your help, we are succeeding. So congratulations again to all of the previous awardees. Give them all a round of applause, please. And staying with the theme, mothers are always right. Always right. They always have the right answer. welcome again Dr. Elaine Johnson Coates. Give her another round of applause as our first African-American female graduate out of the College of Education. It's great to see you and your daughter. And Maurice, I'm just trying to figure out, how did you do 5 study abroad? 5 study abroads, Maurice? How did you do it? Aha, okay, all right. Unbelievable. We're unbelievable people. Now, I'm fortunate that I get to do 2 final awards for this evening. One is called the President's Award, and one is called the Hall of Fame Award. So our next award this evening goes to an individual who has achieved national recognition for excellence in their field. As an architect, Craig Spangler has been at the forefront of designing transformative human places that foster exceptional learning and discovery. A 1982 graduate of the University of Maryland and senior principal with Ballinger, he is a true innovator dedicated to advancing sustainable-minded design. He has earned international honors for his Wisconsin Institutes for Discovery and has designed award-winning initiatives for the University of Maryland, including the Biosciences Research Building, A. James Clark Hall, Chemistry Wing 1, and the next one up, Stanley Zupnick Hall. A contributor to our new campus facilities plan, he is a decade-long member of the School of Architecture, Planning, and Preservation's Board of Visitors, including as past chair and current development chair. He received the school's Distinguished Alumni Award and Key Distinguished Professorship in Architecture. Along with his wife, Mimi, he established an endowed graduate student support fund and has made it a priority to hire Maryland graduates, only Maryland graduates, no, I'm just joking, and elevate them and their work at Ballinger. He is a model of both generosity and truly paying it forward with his expertise. Please play the
As
video.
a nationally recognized architect, Craig Spangler has elevated the architecture of higher education with transformative human places that foster exceptional learning and discovery, founded in environmental stewardship and enduring campus making. He is a true innovator in the design field. His dedication to advancing sustainably minded design has enriched the architectural practice as it addresses one of the grand challenges of our time. He has earned international honors for his Wisconsin Institutes for Discovery and has designed award-winning initiatives for the University of Maryland, including the Bioscience Research Building, A. James Clark Hall, Chemistry Wing 1, Stanley R. Zupnick Hall, and as a team member of the new campus facilities plan. He is a decade-long member of the School of Architecture, Planning and Preservation Board of Visitors, serving as a past chair and current development chair. He received the school's Distinguished Alumni Award and Kia Distinguished Professorship in Architecture. He also hires Maryland graduates at Ballinger and seeks to elevate them in their work. Last year, Craig and his wife Mimi established the Craig S. Spangler AIA Endowed Graduate Student Support Fund in Architecture. Please join us in congratulating Craig Spangler, recipient of the 2023 President's Award.
We are pleased to recognize Craig Spangler with the President's Award.
Whoops. Thank you for the introduction, President Pines, and good evening, everyone. When beginning the design of A. James Clark Hall, I met then Dean Pines for the first time, and after listening to his ambitions for the School of Engineering and vision for the building, I remarked to my colleagues upon leaving that meeting, he's going to be a president of a university one day. How lucky are we to have him as our president? It's a tremendous honor to be amongst all the great honorees receiving honors awards this evening, and humbling to be amongst highly accomplished individuals that have preceded me in receiving the President's Award. I'd like to thank the Alumni Association, Amy, and you, President Pines, for selecting me to receive this terrific honor. My educational experience at the University of Maryland was nothing less than exceptional, and I'm forever grateful to the university and the School of Architecture, Planning, and Preservation for giving me such an amazing foundation for my life's journey. It led to receiving a full fellowship and master's degree from Princeton University and early career mentorships with renowned architects. Most importantly, it inspired me to dedicate my career to designing academic projects to foster transformative and impactful educational experiences like mine here at Maryland. I've had the opportunity to design significant projects at many notable colleges and universities across the country, each with their own distinct missions, culture, and context that have been an absolute joy to embrace and become a part of architecturally. Most rewarding are the collaborative engagement with smart students, faculty, and administrators who are so eager to learn, dedicated to innovative research of the grand challenges of our time, and to make vital and durable campus places. Their passion inspires me to create unique, human-centric environments to foster groundbreaking learning and discovery that impactfully contributes to each campus experience, and importantly, treads lightly on our environment. While each of my college and university projects have been such rewarding experiences, the 4 that I've designed here at Maryland over the last 2 decades are the closest to my heart. As an architect, it's an incredible honor to be commissioned design projects for my alma mater. As an alum, it's a tremendous responsibility to be a steward of this place and to do good architecturally to protect this house. My home, your home, our home. My family and I have been fortunate to support Maryland philanthropically and in service as a decade-long member of the School of Architecture, Planning, and Preservation Board of Visitors. However, there's no greater gift that I've been able to give to this university than using the exceptional education it gave me to design buildings of impact that endeavor to inspire excellence and are indispensable, sustainable, and enduring contributors to making our world-class university forever terrapin strong. I'd like to thank the wide array of institutional representatives, builders, and importantly, my amazing colleagues at Ballinger, whose collaborations are central to my receiving this award. I'd like to thank the many faculty at the School of Architecture, Planning, and Preservation who believed in making an architect out of a freshman chemical engineering major. I am so very proud to represent our small but mighty school here this evening. I'd like to thank the Dean of our school, Dawn Jordan, for her embrace and support of my engagement on the Board of Visitors and her exceptional dedication in pursuing excellence. I'd especially like to thank former Dean and Associate Provost David Kreinrath for nominating for this award and his care and guidance in architecturally doing good for this campus. Finally, I'd like to thank my wife, Mimi, my son, Andrew, and daughter, Sarah, for the lifelong patience and embrace of my passion for this profession, while enduring campus visits, including many here to Maryland, that inspired my daughter, Sarah, to join her dad in becoming a lifelong Terp. Thank you again to the Alumni Association and President Pines for this extraordinary award. I am so honored to be honored by an exceptional institution that I'm honored to be a part of. Thank you.
Congratulations, Craig, and thank you for all that you have done and will continue to do for University of Maryland. How about another round of applause for Craig Swingler? And thank you, Dean Cronrath, for nominating him. I would have paid you to do it, though. It's okay. Our final honoree of the evening will be inducted into the Alumni Association Hall of Fame for his significant and positive impact on society as a Maryland alum. The Honorable James R. Clapper served the United States for more than half a century in various intelligence roles, culminating in his tenure from 2010 to 2017 as a director of the National Intelligence under President Barack Obama. You can clap. His 34-year military career began in the Marine Corps Reserve following his graduation from the University of Maryland in 1963, and he was commissioned as an Air Force Second Lieutenant. He served two tours of duty in Southeast Asia and went on to be director of the Defense Intelligence Agency before retiring in 1995 as a lieutenant general. And yes, give him a round of applause for that. Following several years as a private advisor and consultant, he returned to the government 2 days after the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001, serving for almost 5 years as director of what is now called the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. He then served as Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence before beginning his term as Director of National Intelligence. It is a career that stands as a true and bold example of what it really means to serve one's country. Please play the video.
The Honorable James R. Clapper served the United States for more than half a century in various intelligence roles, culminating in his 2010 through 17 tenure as Director of National Intelligence under President Barack Obama. His 34-year military career began in the Marine Corps Reserve, and following his graduation from the University of Maryland, he was commissioned as an Air Force Second Lieutenant. He served 2 tours in Southeast Asia, flying 73 reconnaissance missions in EC-47s over Laos and Cambodia. His last active duty position was as Director of the Defense Intelligence Agency, and he retired in 1995 as a Lieutenant General. Following several years as a private advisor and consultant to the intelligence community and Congress, he returned to the government 2 days after the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001, serving for almost 5 years as director of what is now the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. He then served as Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence before beginning his term as Director of National Intelligence. He is the author of the New York Times bestseller, Facts and Fears, Hard Truths from a Life in Intelligence, and is a national security contributor for CNN. Please join us in congratulating retired Lieutenant General James R. Clapper, our 2023 Hall of Fame inductee.
We are delighted to welcome the Honorable James R. Clapper into our prestigious Hall of Fame.
Well, thank you very much. This kind of reminds me of the apocryphal line ascribed to Elizabeth Taylor's 8th husband when he said, "I know what I'm supposed to do, but how do I make it different?" Just a little humor. Yeah. First thing I want to do is to say to Dr. Coates what an honor it is for me to be in the same room with you. And what an accomplishment. And I'm so happy you're here tonight. Yes, please. Obviously, I represent the older generation of alumni. I'm into new body parts, hips, knees, that sort of thing. But I do want to say, and I want to point out one thing that, among many, that the University of Maryland did for me as a student here. It provided, obviously, a great liberal arts education, which served me well in the 55 years I spent in various roles in the intelligence community. But there's one specific aspect I want to highlight that is a very concrete example of what this university did for me. And it's also a little vignette about the history of the university. In the day, when I was here as a student, the first 2 years of ROTC were mandatory for all males, freshmen and sophomores. Can you imagine that today? As a land-grant institution, that was, in those days, a requirement. So the juniors and seniors, the advanced cadets, were provided the leadership for the cadets. So the Cadet Corps was about 3,000 students, about 98% of whom didn't want to be in ROTC, didn't want to wear the uniform, and didn't want to march or do any of that. Well, that was a real test for those of us in the advanced cadre in leadership and how to motivate people that didn't want to be where they were doing what they were doing. Well, fast forward about 7 years after I left here in 1963, 60 years ago, it's hard to believe, and I was a young detachment commander of about 100 airmen in Thailand. On virtually all the first-term enlistees I had in that unit were there only to evade the draft into the Army or the Marine Corps. And I had occasion to draw on the lessons I learned here at the university in the ROTC program, which served me well under combat conditions. And I will never forget that as what this university meant to me and what it did for me. I want to thank the Alumni Association for seeing their way clear to present this tremendous honor to me. One of the advantages of being old is you can be more contemplative, and this distinction is humbling and touching to me in ways I can't articulate. So thank you very much. Thanks to President Pines for his dynamic leadership, and thanks, sir, for your presence here tonight. Thank you very much.
Please welcome to the stage Jim Harris, Vice President of University Relations.
Thank you. What a night, huh? How about another round of applause for all of our awardees? You know, tonight's a night of pride. Pride in our awardees, pride in our Alumni Association, pride in your university, the University of Maryland. You know, the last several years, this university has just seen an incredible leap in growth. The ascension in national rankings, our ability to recruit and retain top faculty and students, the transformation of this campus. You know, if you haven't been on campus in a while and you come now, we hear it all the time, the comments of how it has just grown and looks amazing, and the resources that we are providing for faculty and staff. All of this it's increasing the value of your degree. It's instilling institutional pride, and we just can't thank all of you enough for everything you individually do for your university. You know, our alumni community is full of accomplished and talented people, obviously, as you've seen tonight in this room. But we encourage all of you to, in your own way, you know, make your mark on your university, make your mark on your alumni association, encourage others to do the same, whether that's classmates or peers or, you know, your network. All of this is supporting the next generation of Terps and, again, increasing the value of your degree. So, again, thank you all for being here. I want to say a special thank you to the Alumni Association staff as well. If you're on the staff, please stand up and be recognized for your work on this great event. Thank you. And thank you also to Amy Eichhorst, our Executive Director of the Alumni Association. Amy has announced that she's going to be retiring at the end of the fiscal year. We are still trying to figure out a way to maybe talk her out of that. But thank you so much, Amy, for all you've done and how the Alumni Association has grown under your leadership as well. So this concludes our program tonight. What a wonderful event. We will encourage all of you to join us right outside these doors in Reaver Hall for drinks and dessert and more camaraderie. So thank you all again for being here. What a wonderful night, and go Terps.